Howdy! And welcome back to Tyrion and Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. On the last episode, we talked to this old man who murdered a guy. I'm stopping that. Actually, no, that. We're examining. It's a vat filled with chemical. Come on, man. Hasn't even been a minute. You can do this. It's a vat filled with chemicals that I can't quite identify. According to Celeste, these chemicals are used to refine and create arcane crystals. It's a power box. It contains artificial hardware and arcane power cell. It's connected to the chemical vats, so it must control some function of the refinery. These metal stairs lead up to the walkway above. You can get a better look at the walkway by moving there. Ooh, magic.
Repario Arcanum.
Ah, shit. There are traces of transmutation magic on the power box. It is an artificial device, so that's not too out of the ordinary. There are traces of transmutation magic on these parts of the vat. I'm honestly not quite sure how these vats even work. Perhaps transmutation magic is used in the refinement process somehow? Alright. Can I talk to you about? No. Okay, let's stay in the refinery for now. Tyrion, do you need me to scan for magical traces? Well, there aren't any magical element in this case, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to check. Alright. And just a little reminder there.
Repario Arcanum.
What? What's wrong? There's traces of transmutation magic all over the guardrails. Transmutation? Do you see those traces anywhere else on the walkway? No, it's only this area. Transmutation is a school of magic that changes the properties of physical objects. Usually, mages use transmutation spells to strengthen and repair objects. How did the transmutation spell affect the guardrail? Someone used a spell to change the physical properties of the guardrails. Judging by the current state of the rails, we can only conclude one thing. The spell weakened the body of the guardrails. I guess that's the best way to phrase it. Right. Someone used a transmutation spell to weaken the guardrails. Afterward, the guardrails were so weak that Justin accidentally broke them. And only these guardrails were weakened. The sabotage rails are right next to this vat of corrosive chemicals, too. What was the intention of weakening the guardrails? There was a clear intention behind the actions of this unknown mage. Judging by what happened, that intention can only be one thing. The unknown mage wanted Stephanic, I guess. That was the guy, right? I'm gonna assume. Into the vent. Only the guardrails were in front of this. Must have had an intention of what they were doing. Was his name not Stephanic? Shit. Okay, let me look. No, Justin Way. So, who's Stephanic? Are you Stephanic? You're Stephanic. That's why I was kind of confused. So wonderful. My bad. Whoever sabotaged the guardrails wanted someone to fall into the vat. Why else would they only target those specific guardrails? But why? Who would do this? You can feel your fists clenching tightly. Someone committed murder using magic here. Whoever did this had the gall to try to cover it up. Tyrion? You won't forgive whoever did this. When you're through with them, you will make them feel a fraction of the misery that your mother... Tyrion! What? You good, bro? Right. Sorry. Anyways, if it weren't for your detect magic, everyone would have written this off as an accident. Magical traces are only detectable for 48 hours after a mage casts a spell. That means that whoever cast a transmutation spell did so recently. Right. Right. It's a variety of dangerous magical chemicals. Supposedly, they're corrosive enough to dissolve anyone unfortunate enough to fall into it. This is watching you carefully. She can be a little overprotective at times.
Repario Arcanum.
There are traces of evocation magic on the chemicals in the pens. That makes sense. Evocation is the school of magic for spells that create and disperse energy. These chemicals probably induce some sort of magical reaction to create the arcane crystals. Okay. It's gonna be hard for her to not be put under a little bit of suspicion, right? I feel like... I don't know, it's odd. I almost feel like we're gonna accidentally, like, get her arrested. Because I don't think she did it, because it so much makes sense for her to be it, that it'd be actually crazy if it was her, right? So it confuses me. I assume we can't talk to you about this? No. You should notify Shrek again about the traces of transmutation that you found. Perhaps you should wait until you obtain more information first. After all, knowing about a potential saboteur might unnecessarily stress him out, even more so if you don't have the information. Alright. I guess I'll talk to everyone. I'll talk to her last, though. Okay, so this is just a general place. I'll talk to you. I still don't get it. You can't just sabotage the guardrails. It's as if they wanted someone to fall into that vat. Could this actually be a murder? It's hard to say for sure, but there's clearly more to this accident than meets the eye. If it was a murder, what could possibly be the motive? Next lead. Where should we go next? Supposedly, 3 people witnessed the accident. Morrison, Reka, and an unknown person. Morrison is the harbor master of the city's harbor, so we can probably find him there. Yeah. I definitely want to talk to him about what he saw. Alright, let's go meet our old friend. Her mom's old friend. Okay. Very jovial? That's a word, right? Jovile? That's a word for, like, happy, isn't it? Jovial? Googling that. Yeah, jovial. You can be jovial, right? Nope, that's Joyville, that's different. Jovial definition. No, it's just jovial. Huh. I guess I'm stupid and smart. They're just stupid. I'm getting distracted again. You arrive at the harbor and search for Morrison, the harbor master. However, you notice a large concentration of knights in the shipping area. Notably, the Arcane Inquisition is among them. You spot Commander White and Prosecutor Steelwind coordinating the knights there. I wonder what those two are doing here. The Knights of the Blockade said they were investigating something. There must be magic involved if the Inquisition is here. You think that this has anything to do with what happened to Justin? I doubt it. We didn't see any Inquisition Knights at the refinery. It must just be a coincidence. You're probably right. But I'm kind of curious about what the Inquisition is investigating. It has nothing to do with our case. It'd be best to leave them to their business. Alright. Boy, you there. You'd best clear out. The knights have closed the harbor. Morrison? Do I know you? Wait, Cuthbert? Is that you? Hello? I heard from little Mozarika that you were back in town. What can I do you for? We've heard that you were at the refinery yesterday. From what we heard, you witnessed the accident. We wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw. Oh, right. Mozarika mentioned that you're an attorney now. What? I just hope you're still not hung over about that business with your mother. Sorry, I guess it's none of my business. I went to Schwarzenegger for a second. Whoops. Anyways, I'll tell you what you know. I'll tell you what I know. What I know. You know nothing. Rokugan told us that you witnessed the accident. It was a horrible thing what happened. No one deserved what happened to that poor lad. Can you tell us what you saw? Well, I was shown a patron around town. And for some reason, he really wanted to take a look at the refinery. Something about checking out the local AotA fishery? Must mean artificiary. Anyways, he was looking at the machinery. Then suddenly, Mozarika came running toward us. She was trying to tell us something, but the damn machines were too loud for us to hear her. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway, and we saw the horrible sight. We saw someone fall into the vat. By the time we could get them to stop the machines, it was too late. Which is all of what we know so far. But what was Rick even doing there? She should still have been running the cafe at the time of the accident. That patron who was visiting the factory, they also witnessed the accident. The guardrail. Could you tell us how Justin fell off the walkway? Was it because the guardrail broke under his weight? Yeah, he did. But it was a little strange. The guardrail was made out of metal, yeah? But the way it broke, you would have thought that it was made out of cardboard. He barely leaned on it, and it just broke apart. A poorly maintained guardrail shouldn't have broken that easily. Did someone really use transmutation magic to sabotage it? If so, that possibility could clear Drekugan's name. But presenting the possibility of a magical crime might just complicate things. Your patron. You mentioned that you were escorting a patron when the accident happened. Who was he? Did he witness the accident too? Aye, he was right there with me when Rika was trying to get our attention. It'd be hard to miss it with the commotion she was making. As for who he was, he said his name was Asta. Asta? I don't know anyone by that name. Caster? Why does that name sound familiar? Did he kill our mother? Do you know what his surname was? No, the lad was really secretive with his last name for some reason. It was almost like he was a nobleman or something. That means he must have a recognizable name then. Is he a noble from a well-known house? Yahaha! The blockade. Why were you escorting this ass in the first place? Don't you have to manage the harbor? Well, I can't really manage anything because of them. There's a sort of Inquisition Knights crowding the pier. They've blocked all the sea travel out of the city till this mess is sorted out. They have a lot of knights investigating this harbor. Do you know what they're looking for? Well, you didn't hear this from me. But according to them, Asta's ship just up and vanished in the dead of night. Vanished? As in someone hijacked it? That's the thing. Guards would have noticed if someone had driven off the ship, especially one of that size. From what I've heard, one of the guards could have sworn that they saw it vanish in a flash of light. Flash of light? Like something created by a spell. What kind of ship was it? Do you know how big it was? From the size of it, I'd say it was probably a galleon. A galleon? A spell of that scale would have to be pretty powerful to affect a ship of that size. I wonder who this Astra person is. He must be high profile if they're calling in Kingsguard and the Inquisitions for him. All of our missing ship, too. We spent some time with him, am I correct, Morrison? Did he tell you where he was staying? If I remember right, he's staying at the local inn near the town square.
Wait, that's the tavern that we were staying at.
If he's this high profile, why is he staying at an inn for commoners? No idea. He's an eccentric one for sure. Whoever it was, he also witnessed the accident. You'll definitely want to speak with him. And if he's a noble, there's a chance that he is the mage to sabotage the card ring. I'm not so sure. It's weird. There's so many options. All of them seem very obvious. There's two options, and both of them seem like really easy choices. Between the two, I would probably expect it to be Rika. Or more likely, or what I'm almost hoping is a third option. Case isn't done yet, though. Yeah, let's go back to this familiar looking place. I don't want to talk to her yet. I don't know why. I'm like a little... I don't know. Because that's like the biggest mystery, so I'm putting it off. Wilson said that ass is staying in one of the rooms at this tavern. Which room is it? You can always just check each room. That might irritate the patrons, though. And if Asta doesn't want to be found, we might alert him if we annoy too many people. I guess you're right. Your family owns a tavern, right? If you had to put a VIP somewhere, which room would you choose? I guess it would probably be the one at the end of the hallway. That's the one I use at my family's tavern. Hello? Someone does come to answer the door, but they only open the door a fraction of the way. The crack on the door is less than an inch wide, you can't get a look at the person's face. I am terribly sorry, but if your business isn't urgent, I'd like to be left alone. So sorry if I'm intruding, but are you Asta? My name is Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm the defense attorney of Stefanik Draculagon. From what I've heard, you witnessed the accident at the refinery yesterday. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions about what you saw. Upon hearing your name, the man fully opens the door, and you're finally able to get a good look at him. He definitely stands out from the other patrons of the inn. He must be, well, the wealthy patron you're looking for. Roski looks like fucking... Looks like that dude from... He looks like that asshole from Berserk. What's his name? Gilbert or whatever? That's what he looks like. Tyrion Cuthbert, the protege of the infamous Ruby Tamora. So, you know who I am? I do. I know you very well. I'm your biggest fan! I love him. He is dear to me. I will put him in a little jar, and I will feed him treats. What? I can't believe it! The infamous Tyrion Cuthbert is standing right in front of my tavern room! What? I've read all about your feats, Mr. Cuthbert. You successfully indicted the head of House Pierce. You didn't think twice about confronting the inheritor of House Freyja. And you even defeated Lord Van Sanctus in the chess tournament yesterday. I'm so lost right now. And you must be Celeste McCoy, Tyrion's first client, and the Crimson Demon of the Eastern Kingdoms. How did you find out about that name? The Crimson what? Don't ask. Anyways, if you are Asta, does that mean you witnessed the accident with the Harbor Master yesterday? Yes, I did. Are you going to interrogate me about what I saw? I'll answer whatever questions you have. You've never met a witness that has been this eager to cooperate. But hopefully this means that he won't hide any details about what he saw.
Repario Arcanum.
Yep. It's the door to that tavern. What? I go. Oh. Alright, sure. Let's talk about your name. You clearly know who I am, but I'm still unsure of who you are, Asta. My apologies. But I would prefer to keep my full identity hidden for now. He's within his right to do so, but you can't help but feel a little suspicious. Your outfit feels a little different from the other nobles. Like, it's still fancy, sure, but I don't know. Something about it feels off. Are you maybe like a noble from a different place? Question mark? In any case, what is your business in AotA? That would explain why he knows Celeste's name and why he isn't so gung-ho about the other nobles from here. I was accompanying a ship transporting goods to Lord Von Sanctus. The same ship that was magically stolen. I'm surprised you found out about that. The King's Guard have been trying their best to keep that information hidden. But I suppose I shouldn't expect anything less from you, Mr. Cuthbert. Flattery will get him nowhere. Oh, it... Hey, I'm the one in control. It's absolutely going to get him everywhere.
What was on that ship? It must be pretty valuable to be worth stealing.
I doubt there was anything on that ship worth drawing the ire of the entire kingdom. The truth is, during the time that my ship was stolen, I was supposed to be on it. I see. The theft of the ship might actually have been an attempt to kidnap you. That's my current theory, anyway. It wouldn't make much sense otherwise. You seem awfully calm about this. Alright, let's talk about the accident. According to Morrison, you were also in the refinery that night. Did you witness the moment the victim fell into the vat? Ah, I did. Could you tell us exactly about what you saw? Every detail you can remember could be important. Well, it all began when I was visiting the refinery with the harbor master. I was inspecting the refinery's machines when a girl frantically ran towards us. She was hysterical. It looked like she was trying to tell us something, but we couldn't hear her over the noise of the machines. When she realized that we couldn't hear her, she simply pointed at the walkway. That's when we saw Justin Wei fall off and into the vat. This next question is very important. Did you see the victim break the guardrail by leaning on it? Yes. He broke the guardrail before he fell. Alright. So this one mentions exactly what Morrison saw. That's good. The way he fell was very strange, though. Strange? What could he mean by that? Alright, let's talk about how the way the broski fell. You mentioned that the way the victim fell was strange. Did you feel like the guardrail broke too easily? Why, yes. How did you know? It matches with the statement that the harbor master gave us. I won't reveal the traces of transmutation that you found on the walkway, at least not yet. But yes, the guardrail broke the moment that Justin leaned on it. And his body was extremely limp when falling too. His body was limp? Normally, when falling from a great height, one would flail their arms, yes? But when I saw him falling, he wasn't moving at all. It was like he was already dead. Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was much too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How did you know that it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? No one else has been reported missing. We also found the remnants of Justin's body in the vat. Gross! It was definitely him that fell in. That's true. I don't have much reason to believe that Justin still might be alive. Oh, but that totally means he's still alive, though. There was traces of transmutation magic at the crime scene. It appears that Astro was quite the high-profile individual. He's probably a mage, and aside from Rinka, he was probably the only other mage at the refinery that night. If you ask him outright, might be able to see something incriminating through the Eye of Horus. Asta, we'll respect your privacy if you don't want to tell us who you are. But could you at least answer one question for me? I can make no promises, but I'll do my best to tell you what I can. Are you a mage? Oh, is that all? Yes, I am a mage. And I'm quite the practiced one at that. You see, Celeste cast Detect Magic to look at the scene of the accident. We found traces of transmute. Don't tell them what what kind of magic it was, let him reveal that on his own. We found traces of transmutation magic at the scene of the crime. Namely on the guardrails that Justin fell through. What? Here it is. I can't believe it! What? Are you telling me that a mage used transmutation magic to weaken the rails? It's a conspiracy! Wait, does that mean that this was actually a murder made to look like an accident? It's like something under the reports I read about him! I don't see anything incriminating, and you can see his thoughts so clearly. His feelings of happiness are a bit off-putting, though. Did you ask me if I was a mage? Does that mean that I'm a potential suspect? This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me. I love this guy. This is the first time you've met someone that's happy to be suspected of murder. Sorry, it's not right of me to get excited about something this serious. You must think less of me now. But it's like something right out of a mystery novel. That's not the reaction you were expecting. Nevertheless, it doesn't look like there's any incriminating thoughts in his mind. And all of the emotions he was emanating were positive. There wasn't a drop of fear in there. What could this mean? Either way, it looks like you found out everything you can from Aster. You should move somewhere else. Quick thought, though. Oh. I think it'd be really fun if you just, like, absolutely hated her. So what exactly is the Crimson Demon? I thought I'd finally gotten rid of that name. It's a name people call me when I was working in the Eastern Kingdoms. Legends say that she cleared entire regions of bandits within days. The very gaze of her demonic glare drove fear into the most hardened of warriors. You snort out a small laugh as you hear that. Oh, shut up. So she's like definitely like murdered people, right? Like that's the implication. Should we have gotten her off from... Should we have stopped her from getting arrested? I think she might deserve to be arrested. I can't believe I actually came face to face with the legendary Tyrion Cuthbert. Legendary? I didn't know that defense attorneys could have fanboys. He's not just a defense attorney, he's a revolutionary. He's gone after prolific nobles and plunged the kingdom's aristocracy into chaos. That phrase makes you sound like some kind of anarchist. Ain't wrong though. Let's see Ruby. Just wait, if you're here, is Ruby Tamora here too? She isn't. I originally only came here for the chess tournament. I didn't expect to be working a case while I was here. Why didn't this guy, like, I don't know, say hi then? I feel like he would have known. In truth, he wanted to leave the city as soon. I guess if you're probably being silent about it, so no one can be like, oh, hey, what's up, Tyrion? What's up? Much more I could present with. Maybe there's something else he interacts with, but I feel like it's about time to actually talk to Rika. Tyrion, you're back! The thing with her is that it's like... She was definitely saying words with her mouth. She also pointed. She pointed and then he fell. I think that's a pretty clear distinction to make. Like, I feel like there's something case there to be made against her. It's too early to be like, yep, that's definitely what happened. I'm gonna go full gung-ho on this. But it is interesting, you know. Because, sure, she could be like, hey, stop this guy from dying. But it could also be like, oh, I'm random Latin-ish word to make the rail go boom. That's where my mind's at, but I'm not entirely convinced by myself. I just don't know enough yet. And it'd be weird to figure it out this quickly when the headmaster felt like, I don't know, like you could definitely guess at it, but it didn't feel like super obvious. Especially when, I don't know. Yeah, it's especially when, and then again, Eris was there, and this was a whole thing. But I don't know. Tyrion, you're back. Did you talk to Mr. Jack again? I did. I'm still not sure what to make of him just yet. But after what I've seen today, I don't think I can turn a blind eye to what's happening. The traces of transmutation magic on the guardrails. Regardless of their motives, someone sabotaged those rails with the intent of harming an employee at the refinery. If this truly was a murder, you have to find out who did this and why. I'll represent him in court for the criminal case. Thanks. It really means a lot to me. On that note, you were at the refinery when the accident occurred, am I correct? Yes, he was. May I ask you a few questions about what you saw that day? Of course. I'll do whatever I can to help. Psychological profile. We're gonna argue with you, huh? That is also a good sign that she's not it. Why were you at the refinery? Didn't you have to work at the cafe? He was making a food delivery to Justin. Wait, you were delivering food to the victim? Yeah, he never had the time to make his own dinner. So, I always delivered his dinner during the evening break. That doesn't make sense. You're lying. But that night, I couldn't find him in the freight area. Okay, so you're not lying. So I went looking for him in the refinery building. That's still odd, though. So, the accident happened while you were delivering his food. It looks good. That doesn't... Why would you check there, though? Why were you going... Why were you pointing and yelling and stuff? Alright, let's keep talking, though. Did you talk to Justin at all before the accident? I did. When I finally found him in the refinery building, he seemed busy. He told me to leave his food in the break room. He was busy. According to Jack again, you should have never been in the refinery building in the first place. Did he say what he was busy with? He said that he had a meeting scheduled with Mr. Dracogan. That can't be true, though. Dracogan didn't mention anything about this. Unless... Yeah, she's lying. What did you see? I've gotten a few witness accounts already. I just wanted to double check. What did you see during the accident? Sorry. I'm sure that it was a disturbing sight. Do you need to take a moment? No, it's okay. It happened after Justin told me to leave his food in the break room. It was my first time inside the refinery, so I spent some time looking at all the machines. That's when I suddenly heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked over to see what it was, I saw Justin fall from there. I tried to find someone to help him, but no one could hear me because of how loud the machines were. Before I finally got them to understand what happened, it was already too late. Did you see the guardrail break when Justin fell off the walkway? Well, specifically, did it break from Justin's weight? I'm honestly not sure. I was just too busy trying to find help. Alright. Guess that makes sense. I mean, we can also confirm that would have been helpful, but you suppose answering more from statements will suffice. Okay. She didn't see Justin before the accident. Either way, Justin or Jack again must be lying in that case. We met Jack again already, but you still have no idea what kind of person Justin was. Perhaps Rika can tell you more. Or maybe Rika's lying. But... still... let's just keep going. Could you tell us more about the victim? What kind of person was he? He was a good person. He fell in with a bad crowd a few years ago. But he was starting to turn his life around. I saw how much he was trying to change, so I asked Mr. Drac again to give him a job. I really wanted to help him change his life for the better. But this job just ended up killing him. You can't blame yourself for this.
No one could have known that this would have happened. I guess you're right. It's hard not to think about it, though.
Wasn't the type of person to go to places that he wasn't supposed to be?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
He really wanted to make a good impression on Mr. Dracogan. He would always talk about following the rules. He even got mad at me a few times when I accidentally broke Dracogan's protocols.
Right, that matches up with what Dracogan said. Maybe he was falling back into his old habits. I'm sure he can tell you more about what he was like before he turned his life around. You mentioned that Justin fell in with a bad crowd before. I've also heard that he used to hang out with a band of local delinquents. Can you tell us more about them? What? Rika, this information will help us with our investigation. I need to speak with the other people who knew him. Do you know where I could find his delinquent friends? I'm sorry. I didn't really know him that well. I should be quiet. It might make him mad. Rika, are you hiding something from me? What? Of course not. What would the Dark Lord of Arwen possibly have to hide from you? Yeah, she's definitely hiding something. You'll need to argue against her if you want the truth. Alright. I don't think I do. Hot take. I don't think she killed him. Mazurika Tudora appears to be hiding something from you. She clearly knows about the bad crowd that Justin fell in with. She's hiding who they are and where you can find them. Probably someone I knew in the past. I need to convince her to share that information with you. No, I think okay. Oh.
You've really grown up since the last time I saw you. You used to be such a nervous wreck before. Nah, he still gets like that sometimes. You should see him before he enters the courtroom.
Fuck you too.
Your sword is so cool, Celeste. It doesn't look anything like the swords I've seen at the local blacksmith. You like it? It was a gift I received from a Regan in the Eastern Kingdoms.
Wait, really? I expect you to get along with an aristocrat.
Well, a lot of things happened. It's a pretty long story.
I'd like to hear more about her travels when you're less busy. I've heard a lot of good things about Dracogan, but to be perfectly honest, it seems too good to be true.
Hey, he's a good person. He invested in my cafe when no one else would.
But no one can be that philanthropic.
I don't think it's philanthropy, it's pragmatism.
What do you mean?
Nobles like Von Sanctus tend to underestimate the power of goodwill. Ravengard has a very impressive hierarchy, and the aristocracy takes advantage of or even outright abuses the working class. They're old-fashioned. They never want to do business with a common folk mage. Yeah, Von Sanctus wouldn't even hear me out when I was starting out. Dracogan is willing and able to invest in resources that Von Sanctus wouldn't even think of touching. That sort of adaptive thinking gives him an edge over Von Sanctus.
I see. What could complete the profile? Maybe examining a little bit? A little of this, a little of that? Rika seems to have decorated the entire cafe with several planted plants and flowers. It brings out a fresh and rustic ambience to the restaurant.
Damn right it does.
There's a shelf full of drinks, mugs, cream, and sugar behind the restaurant counter. This must be where they prepare coffee to be served. The table that we're sitting at seems relatively new. Rika apparently had them custom made by the local carpenter. It's so weird to me that carpenters make more than carpets. Like, that's kind of fucked up when you think about it. That confused me so long because it was like, oh, Jesus was a carpenter, but it's like, what? He just made carpets? That seems kind of lame. And then I found out the truth, and it's, I don't know, it's still kind of lame, but oh, who am I? Who am I to judge? There are some barrels stacked in the corner here. Actually, making rugs, that's a cool job. It's gonna be artistic, and then also you can have like, you can hang big things on your floor, place big things on your floor. That's cool. Shout out to the carpet people. Oops. I'm losing my mind. There are some barrels stacked in the corner here. I assume for decor purposes, because it's really weird otherwise.
Ontario Arcanum.
No magic, which is weird because it's owned by a mage. You've really made a life for yourself here. I'm glad you were able to realize your dreams and open a cafe. Hehe, but of course. Once the Dark Lord sets her sights on a quarry, it's only a matter of time before she obtains it. I've grown up since you last saw me. Let's not go that far. What's that supposed to mean? I met with Molson earlier. He seems to be doing well. Yeah, sea trade's been booming lately. So he's been getting a lot of business. I wonder if it's because of the growing wealth of the AotA. Could I capitalize on this somehow? You can almost see the gears turning in her head. Yeah, might as well finish it off. Yeah. And I think I've presented most of the evidence. Look at my runestone. Yeah, it's a little thing about sometimes. You always hear about these things happening, and you never expect them to happen to people you know. But have no fear. It will take more than this to bring down the High Archmagi. She referred back to her Chuny personality. It's at this point where I Google the word Chuny. Yeah. Googling like a word per day. Chuny meaning. Chunibyo is a Japanese colloquial term typically used to describe early teens who have grandiose delusions, who desperately want to stand out, and who have convinced themselves that they have hidden knowledge or secret powers. It translates to second-year syndrome. Oh, like Gundam! Tanaka. I'm so cool, man. Oh. Gosh. God, I'm awesome. Just casually. Alright. That was it. Well, let's argue. But you're not in a second year. You're 20. You're still like this at 20? Come on now. You know what? Fair enough. She's living the good life. This wicked Tudor appears to be hiding something from you. She clearly knows about the bad crowd that Justin fell in with, but she's hiding who they are and where you can find them. You'll need to convince her to share that information with you. Alright, let's fucking go. Miss Rika Tudor will perform personal acts to protect the people she cares about. She has your best interests at heart and will always act in a way that she thinks is beneficial for your well-being. She isn't very good at deception. She will often revert to her dramatic Chuny personality when trying to hide the truth from you. Just be honest with me. I'm not hiding anything. I really don't know that much about him. I wasn't that close to Justin Wayne. I may have delivered his food, but he was just a customer to me. Bro, we know that's BS. Because you clearly know more about Justin than you're letting on. And this proves it. You gave him a job. Shit, Okay, fine. That's the same thing. I might have believed that you delivered his food because he was a good customer. But that wasn't all you did for him. You also got him his job. That's why the evidence was Justin's job. You saw that he was trying to turn his life around. And you begged the Drakugan to set him up with a job. You wouldn't do that for a customer that you barely knew.
Well, that still proves nothing. I am Mozarika Tudor, High Archmage of the Cadmium Flame. Is it so hard to believe that I took pity on a stranger? I only helped him because I'm a generous person. It would only be right for me to equip a commoner with the means to change his life.
So, how could you possibly know that if you didn't know him very well? Nah.
I think this makes more sense in my brain, but...
These both make sense to me. You said earlier that he was a good person. How could you possibly know that if you didn't know him very well? I could easily imagine the argument of like,
well, yes.
But I only started to know him after he became a bad person, or after he started to turn his life around. I only heard, rumors, little words here and there. That's a weaker argument than this. I'll rationalize. Shit. There are plenty of people who would have said that about him. He didn't exactly keep a secret. I only knew about him because of rumors that were floating around town. Shit, okay. Wait, really? It was someone I was... Shit. You're not a good liar, Rika. You would have risked a lot by asking Drakugan to hire a stranger. Especially a stranger with a dubious past like Justin. What if Justin fell back into his old ways? That would have surely brought about consequences on you and your business. You wouldn't take a risk like that unless you knew him well enough to trust him.
Okay, fine. I guess we were friends. Like I said before, he was trying to leave his old life behind. He always kept his past a secret from me. He didn't like talking about the person he was back then. He wanted to forget about it, and I never brought it up.
It's sort of true. We knew each other for years before he told me about it. That's things that contradicts us, seen through the eye, contradict a piece of evidence, contradict despite emotions. I doubt that, Rika. In fact, I'm sure that you were friends for at least a few years. With a friendship that old, I'm sure he would have confided in you about his past.
What?
No, you need to stay focused. Rika, I don't know why you thought you had to lie about this. Oh, because we want to tell Celeste about our past? That makes sense. I want him to tell her about our past too. But I need to talk to Justin's former friends.
Is that really necessary?
Yes, I need to know why he was behaving so strangely before the accident. His friends might know something about him that you and Drakugan don't.
But that doesn't make any sense. There wasn't anything strange about the way he was acting. I think you're just overthinking this, Tyrion.
Nothing strange about the way he was acting. Nothing strange about the way he was acting. Come on. Come on now. I'm just trying to find the right piece of evidence. I'm assuming it's this. Okay, who's acting very strangely? Alright. Oh, the meeting? You didn't want to overplay your hand before, but it looks like you don't have a choice now. Rika, Justin told you that he was heading to a scheduled meeting in Drakugan's office. But according to Drakugan, Justin wasn't even supposed to be in the refinery rebuilding yesterday.
What?
Rika, Justin might have lied to you.
No. You would never do that.
I need to know why he was up there.
And so far, the statements that I've gotten from you and Drakugan don't explain that. Eh. I need to talk to people who might know things about him that you don't. Okay. I'll tell you where you can find them. In the next episode, get fucked, nerd. I don't know why her voice has slowly turned into like a weird, like, bad Lisa Simpson impression, but there we go. Alright, but yes, episode's over. Yeah, that's it.